All right, welcome back to Coffee with the Candidates. I'm Clinton Rangel from PNC's News First, and I am joined with senatorial candidate on the Democrat ticket, Régine Biscoe-Lee, right?
So,
welcome.
Thank you so much.
All right, Régine, thanks for joining us. To get things started, let's start with some easy questions, some icebreakers.
Okay.
All right. What do you have on your queue on Netflix or Hulu account?
On Netflix, wow. So there's a bunch of things on there. A majority of the things that I like to watch are like old West Wing episodes or some Friends, but I also have young children, so it's Land Before Time and Barney are sometimes on there. There are a bunch of Netflix documentaries that are really interesting too. So a whole gamut on our Netflix queue.
Awesome. And here's a related question. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
That's a toss-up, Clint. It's, it depends on the day, but either Rocky Road or strawberry are my favorites.
Cool. All right. And your favorite music genre and song?
I'd have to say hip-hop and R&B is my favorite, but
nice.
I also started dancing from a very young age. So I was raised kind of on classical music as well. I danced ballet from when I was 3 years old. So, that also kind of tugs at the heartstrings too. And when I need to calm down, classical music does the job.
All right. For hip-hop, I got to ask, who's your favorite hip-hop artist then?
Favorite hip-hop artist would have to be the Notorious B.I.G.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Absolutely.
All right. Your favorite food?
Favorite food? I don't think anything can really come close to my nana's karimpika or estofao. I really love that. But I also like a nice salad with some local lettuce. That's also really good.
Cool. All right. Do you have any hobbies?
Oh yeah, I have a ton of hobbies. I really enjoy spending quality time with my family. I enjoy traveling, but I also really enjoy dancing. I do some paddle boarding and spending a lot of time in the ocean. So yeah, when I'm not busy doing things, that's where you can pretty much find me.
Cool. And so those are your hobbies. That kind of melds into what do you do for leisure or fun? Is it the same thing, or do you have other stuff you do to just sort of unwind aside from hobbies?
Yeah, I'd say Netflix is a good way for me to unwind. I like to spend time with family and friends, just kind of catching up with people. A lot of folks who are on and off island, communicating with them. And I've picked up reading a bunch of new books, so that's also high up on my priority list for downtime.
Awesome. What books? Name one at least.
I am currently reading Sheryl Sandberg's Lean In. It's a book about women and leadership, and she's a very inspiring figure. She is the COO of Facebook.
Oh.
So yeah, Sheryl Sandberg. You should read it too.
Cool. All right, now let's get into the hard questions.
Okay.
Or the meatier questions. Why are you running for office?
So I'm a daughter of Guam. I'm a mother of two. I'm a community advocate, and I'm also a small business owner. I think a lot of that experience and expertise really lends itself to a career in public service, and I really want to give back to the community. I'm really looking forward to raising my children here, and I think it's important that we have a community that's built around strong families and a strong island. So that's really what I'm trying to move forward in my campaign.
Okay. Now tell us about what sort of education and experience do you have that you believe will help you to create public policy and write laws?
So I was born and raised on Guam. I'm a graduate of the Academy of Our Lady of Guam, and then I went on to study at the University of Washington in Seattle. After I finished school, I went to live and work in Washington, D.C. I did lobbying for a number of different clients out there, and I actually started working with Congresswoman Bordallo, both in her Washington, D.C. office and back home in her district office. I was the chief of staff for Senator Tina Muñoz Barnes. And so a lot of those things have really helped me to prepare and really look at public policy in a real strategic way, involving community partners, building coalitions, I think are a really big part of my expertise. And so I'm really looking forward to bringing all of that expertise and experience to bear for the people of Guam.
Awesome. And what are some of the issues that you hold dear that are really important to you?
So as a mother, I think it's really important that we focus on strengthening our communities. Building strong and safe communities is really important to me. Making sure that we grow our economy so our children have opportunities to, after they're done with education, they have gainful employment that they can look forward to and jobs that they really enjoy. And I also think that health and environmental aspects of our community are things that we really need to be keeping a close eye on.
Cool. If elected, give some examples of legislation that you'd like to introduce.
So I really want to focus on expanding national service, and there are a lot of opportunities with the federal government that the federal government provides to folks who are just coming into the workforce. So first jobs, on-the-job training, apprenticeships are really important, and we can use that to really build our current existing industries like tourism, but also emerging industries like agricultural sectors and other things of that nature. Maybe even information technology is something that we can really delve into. So that's something that I'm interested in introducing, but also in creating partnerships, grant opportunities for local nonprofit organizations to really assist public safety and law enforcement in doing their job. So making sure that they have the training, that they have the resources and the equipment that they need to really do their jobs and keep our islands and our families safe.
Okay. Now, this is sort of similar. What are the goals you have if elected senator? What would you like to accomplish?
So I think I spoke a little bit to those goals, really focusing on keeping the island safe, happy and gainfully employed, and focusing on health and wellness are some of the things that I really want to address. I also really want to make sure that communities that haven't really had a voice or a very strong voice in the past, to include our Manonku and our veteran communities, are really addressed, and that really is important to me, as well as addressing issues with our island's youth and families.
Okay. Now, medical marijuana has been legalized. In fact, come this general election, will mark 2 years since the voters of Guam have voted to legalize medical marijuana. It hasn't been implemented yet. Do you think it should be implemented? And if so, what should be done to implement it?
I absolutely think it should be implemented. I think, like you mentioned, over 2 years ago, this was on the ballot, and by an overwhelming majority, people voted to move forward medical marijuana legislation. I want to applaud the Women Grow Guam group, who's been a real loud advocate. They've really taken the time to take a look at the rules and regulations that are currently being put forward and really question a lot of the things that are in there. I think it's important that the voters have spoken. It's an issue of compassion. If we have an opportunity to assist somebody who's in pain and assist them with their pain management, Quinn, I really just don't know why we wouldn't want to help people out, especially if they're dealing with end-of-life scenarios and things of that nature. So I think that's really important, and I think that it's really important that we give people access to this medicine that they so desperately need. So that's one of the things that they're having issues with the rules and regulations, is that issues like home cultivation and access to the medicine is not really so clear in the current rules.
All right, now medicinal is one thing. What are your thoughts? Are you for legalization of marijuana for even recreational uses?
I'd be in favor of decriminalizing marijuana. I think it's a lot less dangerous than alcohol or, say, tobacco. There are over 20 different states in the United States, Alaska, the District of Columbia, Maryland, Colorado, California, I believe, are a number of states that have already decriminalized marijuana. And I think that it's important that we kind of, there are a lot of those places aren't really having a lot of the negative effects that some of the people thought would happen should decriminalization occur. But I also think that it's important to kind of have the employers step up, and you tie the drug use as a condition of employment. Like they do with a lot of other more dangerous drugs like methamphetamines or opiates. If you're caught at SMG, I'm pretty sure they have a drug policy in place with your HR. And so it's a condition of employment, and it really creates an incentive for people to use maybe marijuana recreationally, but not have it, what if there's regulations that are in place, just like a blood alcohol limit,
Can't have
we're
it in the
able
workplace,
to,
is what you're saying.
right? And so it just, again, it's a condition of employment. We're not going to have people going off of that.
Right, gay marriage is now legal. Would you be willing to marry a gay couple as a senator?
I think yes. So marriage equality was one of the things that was discussed. It's now law, and again, it goes back to equality and fairness. I have been married for 9 years. We're celebrating 9 years, my husband and I would love the opportunity to, give those same rights to another couple, whether they be gay or straight.
Okay. And do you think Guam should vote for self-determination now? Should we wait until more people are properly educated on the matter? Or should we not even vote at all for self-determination, accept the status quo?
I think self-determination is something that permeates into every single aspect of life on Guam. It is so, so very important, and for that reason, I think that the public needs to be better educated about the different options. I've studied self-determination for many, many years. I've attended a lot of the decolonization committee meetings at Adelup over the past years. And I don't even feel like I have a very, very clear grasp of the 3 different options and what that would mean, not just for political self-determination, but also for economic self-determination. So I think that there are a lot of questions that have remained unanswered. With that regard, I think it's extremely important. It's an issue that we very much need to address, but I don't think that addressing it in the upcoming November election is a good idea. Maybe if we, move the date a little bit further in the future, maybe in the 2018 election, it will really give us an opportunity to have the public discourse that an issue of this magnitude deserves.
Right, and we're almost out of time. Real quick, real short, in 30 seconds, why should people vote for you?
Well, 30 seconds isn't a lot of time, but I have demonstrated over the course of my career that I'm a very hard worker. I believe in Guam, I believe in our people, and I know that our brighter days and our best days are ahead of us, and I look forward to working with the people of Guam. I want to thank them in advance for their support of me and my candidacy in building strong families and a strong Guam.
All right.
All right.
Régine, thank you very much for joining us again. This is Régine Biscoe-Lee running for Senator on the Democrat side of the ticket, and you've been watching Coffee with the Candidates. I'm Clint Rogel from PNC's News First.